when I decided to take the job here, of the potential, and man, really proud of the students and the fans for showing up, and man, it made a difference. It made it a very, very difficult place for a good football team to come in here to play. So just, man, it's what it should be. And this team's going to keep working, but really appreciate everybody. The atmosphere was unbelievable. Man, it felt like a championship kind of game, and that's what we desire to be as a program. That's where we want to go, but we all got to do it together. So just appreciate everybody for showing up and making Scott Stadium what it is a very difficult place for opponents to play.
You have talked a lot about competitive stamina. Mm-hmm. Florida State scored 3 touchdowns in a row. You guys came back from that. Then they get that last second touchdown at the end of regulation. You had to kind of get off the mat after that. Was tonight an example of what you're looking for? Oh,
definitely. I mean, competitive stamina is just competing to a standard regardless of circumstance. And the circumstance constantly changed. And I thought the guys did a great job. And that was a heck of a football game. Man, that was 2 teams that both teams wanted to win, and they were going to fight. And it was going to come down to who could find a way to make one more play than the other. And in order to do that, you got to have competitive stamina.
When you look back in that second quarter and Terrell Harris's big catch and the hustle play that he got 4 yards, and Jamari Taylor, how much did that was kind of the turning point for you guys as well?
It's kind of that middle 8, right? So we give up a score, and then we come back and we match a score, and then we're able to come out and get a stop to start the third quarter with the missed field goal, and then go down and score, and so it was huge, right? It just leveled the game back to a 0-0 game, so that we weren't chasing possession, because we knew that this was going to be a 1-possession game, that you had to get to the fourth quarter and find a way to win it, and so that was huge. Those 2 big plays, and those are just, man, those all that is heart. Like, at the end of the day, man, the guys got in position. Jamari was, I don't know if y'all heard it. That was a loud hit. He got hit right squarely in the hole, and found a way to keep his legs moving and pop out, and so we were able to go in at half and be basically 0-0 with the 21-21 tie. So it was huge.
Brevard with a couple of picks
tonight.
What have you been seeing from him, and how rare of a play is it to tip it up in the air like that and make it?
Man, that's a heck of a football play, and I told the guys. And really what I'm so proud of is all I could do was kind of give them the study guide, right, from my experience in games like this. But they had to go pass the test, right? They had to go do it themselves. And I told them that it was going to come down to playmakers making plays. I didn't know who it was going to be, right? It could be the least likely, person that we're expecting, but he's got to be ready to go make a play. And for him to finish the game with a play and then to make that play where he tips it up was huge. But playmakers got to make plays, and he's showing that he can be a really good playmaker for us. And so what you're seeing is that he's more and more comfortable, day by day, understanding the scheme, athleticism. I mean, the reason we brought him here because we felt like from a talent standpoint and a body type that he has exactly what we're looking for, and it's just excited for him to be able to make those plays that he made today.
Yeah, Coach, could you speak to a little bit to the defense? I know point-wise there's a lot of points put up on the board, but they obviously made the play at the end that mattered.
Hey, man, that's number 1 offense in the country, right? And they scored 70, 60, and, man, they beat, Alabama. And so, man, all we wanted to do was find a way to get enough stops to give our offense 1 or 2 more possessions than the other team. So, man, we're going to celebrate that one because they made some plays. They made a couple stops, and obviously they gave up some points. But in the end, they gave us an opportunity, as an offense, to have a few more possessions to be able to go score more points. And at the end of the day, man, our number 1 objective on our plan to win is outscore the opponent. Right, and I think they're going to get some confidence, from this. And I mean, that quarterback is dynamic. Right? I mean, Lord have mercy, he's dynamic. And I mean, Deuce Robinson, man, he's phenomenal. I recruited him a little bit, and first of all, he's an outstanding young man. But all I'm gonna say is they got enough stops, and we found a way. We'll go back to work. We'll fix it. We'll find ways to get better. But at the end of the day, when we needed stops, they got us a stop so that we can find a way to score more points than the opponent.
Tony, Florida State had been awfully stout against the run. Mm-hmm. Your O-line is banged up. Mm-hmm. How were you able to rush for 211 yards, and how essential was that?
I know people, and I'm glad you asked that question because people are going to say, well, this cliche, it's coach. Belief. At the end of the day, belief. We got Drake Metcalf starting at center. We got Kevin Wigginton, who was questionable for last week with an ankle injury. And at the end of the day, it's all belief. It's all, and that's really what I've been challenging everybody in our program is just, man, the heart of a champion. Doesn't mean you're perfect, right? But you just believe. You believe beyond your circumstances. You believe beyond what you see in front of you. And that group, man, I could tell by the way they practiced this week. I could tell by how they showed up for pregame that they believed. They didn't know how it was going to get done, but they believed. And I didn't know how it was going to get done, right? But I believe that at the end of the day, playmakers are going to find a way. But super proud of that offensive line. And, man, credit to Terry Heffernan. I mean, what he's been able to do. You know, we went into Portland, we brought in 7 offensive linemen, and right now 5 of them unavailable, and still be able to do that versus, very quality opponents. But at the end of the day, it's belief. And they believe in Coach Kitch. They believe in the rest of the coaches in there. They believe in the plan. But more importantly, they believe in the man next to them. And they won't be denied. And really, if you think about anything great that's ever been accomplished, it's because somebody believed. Right?
And just a real quick follow-up. It looked like Chandler hit his hand
He did.
on a Florida State helmet. He looked like he was in a good bit of pain.
He was, and was told in the game that it looks like it's a little sprain there, but he's a warrior. Man, he's a warrior. And just so happy for him. And it's why he came here. He came here because you know what? He believed. He believed in me. He believed in the staff. He believed in the players in the locker room. And he believed that he could come in and help, this program take the next step. So I know that sounds cliche, but at the end of the day, tonight's all about the good Lord and belief. And hopefully we can continue to believe and stay humble so that we can really, really, go reach our potential.
Speaking of Chandler, I know there's a couple throws he'd like to have back in that game, but kind of it was just a gutsy performance out there. It wasn't clean, but he kind of fought through. What did you make of his?
Yeah, I mean, when you play in games like that, it's hard to be clean when you're playing against really, really good opponents. And he's trying to make a play. And the one over here to Jamal, I mean, that's a competitive play, right? I know he's going to want the one back out rolling to his right. But the other ones, man, he's trying to go make competitive plays. And he's a warrior. And that's all you can say. And so we're going to look at the tape. And we'll get back in on Sunday. And we'll evaluate everything like we do. Just as if we, hadn't won the game, we're going to be very critical. And we're going to try and go get better. We're going to put together our practice plans so that we can improve on the things we need to improve upon so that we can get ready for a really, really good Louisville team on the road.
It was essentially a 0-0 game at halftime. What was your message to the guys in the locker room? But also, what was your message after that game?
Yeah, the message in the locker room is, boys, is right where you want to be. Right? It's a little different message than last week. And I told them, I said, last week I got after you pretty good. Right, because we kind of stumbled into the middle 8, but we knew it was going to be a heavyweight fight, and it's 0-0 at half, right? And we had given them some punches, they had given us some punches, and so we were right where we wanted to be. That was the message, and I said, hey, it's going to come down to who wants it more in the end, right? Who's going to strain, who's going to fight, right, and who's going to find a way to make a play. And really, the play that you need to make is the routine play, right? And just focus on making the routine play, get it to the fourth quarter, and we'll find a way to go win it.
The defense made the stops when it needed to, even though there was a high score. And when the moments that mattered, they showed up. And obviously, it's a team effort. Obviously, there were lots of players that had great games. But can you speak to Cam Robinson's impact being back? He had a monster game, only a second game back, 10 tackles, 1 sack.
Yeah, I mean, he's a super dynamic as an athlete. He can go make plays for us when things break down. He can kind of be an eraser on defense. The guys, look to him. Because they know that he can make things right. But, man, I'm excited about he's just getting going, too. He'd been down for about 4 weeks, and it's only second week back. But he's going to continue to make plays. I think we know that he's got the capability of being a household name. But we got to continue to push him. And the more he plays, the speed of game is going to slow back down for him. And he's going to continue to make more plays for us. But they rally around him, Mitchell Melton. Mitchell Melton continues to make plays. Those two guys right there, athletically, give us a chance, and they're really starting to embrace their opportunities as leaders to help us get to the next level. But, hey, they gave us some points, but we scored a bunch of points too, right? And the reason we did is because we played some complimentary football at times, and we got enough stops and more possessions than what they had.
Tony, last week between the third and fourth quarters, you were in them. I mean, you were on them, right? tonight, you not only you have that one drive where you get after Chandler bangs his hand where you get 10 runs in a row basically, right? But then also too, you had those fourth down decisions. It seemed like you were especially aggressive tonight. Is that something maybe you kind of made a down payment on in that message you gave to him last week? And where did that aggression come from tonight?
I mean, hey, to be a champion, you got to go beat a champion, right? And 2 years ago, that was the champion of our league, right? And they were in the college football playoff, and if it wasn't for an injury, they probably had a shot to go win it all. So, man, you can't coach scared, you can't play scared when you're playing against that bunch over there. You got to be aggressive. And we knew that with their offense, we weren't going to be chasing 3 points. We were going to be chasing touchdowns. So we knew we were going to have to be aggressive, especially as the game went on, and we saw the course of it. And in this game, there's already enough pressure, right? So they don't need me, screaming, but they showed me throughout the course of the week by the way that they prepared, right, that they had learned, right, and they responded the right way from the way that I challenged them last week. And, a game like this, really what they need from me and the coaches is just help them. They already know kind of what's at stake and how hard it's going to be, how physical it's going to be, how fast the game's going to be. They just need us to help them. And they biggest thing for me was just to keep reminding them that, hey, keep believing, keep straining. 0-0. Don't look at the scoreboard, right? One play at a time. Do your job.
And that aggression, I guess, showed that you believe in them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they see that we playing to win, right? And you got to, right? Because it's a race to Charlotte for everybody in our league, okay? And you got to win. If you want to be a champion, man, you got to go beat champions. They don't give you games. You got to go win them.
Tony, through all the adversity, all the pressure, all the criticism that has fallen on your shoulders over the past 3 years, deep down, what does this game mean to you personally?
For me, I know what I signed up for, right? So I understand that, man, heavy is the crown, right? That there's going to be that, but for me, it's really about the Davis family, the Chandler family, the Perry family. The coaches in that locker room, the staff, the players, and just trying to be a model of that belief, right? And there's been days that I didn't know how I was going to do it, but as soon as I walk in the office and I see one of their faces, it reminds me, why we're here, what we're about. Stay the course. Don't deviate from the plan, right? Double down on what you believe in. And I came here because I believe that Virginia, right, can be one of the premier football programs in the country, to go alongside with being one of the premier academic schools, right, that everything associated with this university can just ooze with excellence. And that's why I came here. And I knew it wasn't going to be easy, and I didn't know what adversity we were going to walk into, but here's what I do know is that adversity is a companion of a champion, an enemy to the weak. And so we had to embrace the adversity, and that's really what this is about. And hopefully we can change people from the inside out, right? And everybody that is associated and touches the program, can look to us and say, you know what, and there's something different about, that group. And hopefully tonight just gets people's attention. And if we want to be a premier program, it's going to take all of us, okay? It's going to take all of us sitting in this room, having a good relationship, working together. It's going to take the folks in the stands. It's going to take the students. It's going to take our players. It's going to take our staff, our administration, our faculty. It's going to take everybody, right? But I think that's what we all want. And really tonight is just, one step in that direction. But in the big scheme of things, we just won an ACC game. And you know what? We go on the road next week to Louisville, right, with a chance to win another. So we wanted to be in the driver's seat. And that's all we did was just keep ourselves in the driver's seat. So we got to keep two hands on the wheel, put the seatbelt on, right? Make sure that we check the rearview mirror, make sure we're awake, so that we don't hit a pothole along the way.
We got one more. We got players waiting outside.
Yeah, Tony, obviously a huge night for the fans. And any concerns though with the storming? There's some trouble getting Florida State players off.
Yeah, I hope that nobody got injured. Right, you don't want to see that, and I hate that I didn't get a chance to go and shake Coach Norvell's hand, because I got a tremendous amount of respect for him and what he's done with that program. He's got a phenomenal team, man. Zero, Mr. Little. I wanted to tell him how good of a player I thought he was in all my years of preparing for Florida State. I think he's one of the best, that they've had come through there, and he will be. and I wanted to hug Deuce Robinson's neck. I mean, there were a lot of things that I wanted to be able to do, but I understand it. I'm happy for the folks, on the field as well, but I just pray that nobody got seriously injured. All right, appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.